Today, SCOREGolf will showcase some of Canada's top golf destinations. From Prince Edward Island to Osoyoos, British Columbia, we've got them all. Plus, we rank the NHL's top golfers who've competed on our Molson 67 tee-off season. This all coming up right now. This is SCOREGolf, the voice of Canadian golf. SCOREGolf is brought to you by Adams Golf. Own the second shot. Molson Canadian 67, the official beer of the PGA of Canada and the RBC Canadian Open. Tourism Prince Edward Island. Come for the golf, stay for the party. Hello Canada and welcome to SCOREGolf TV. A very special edition today. It's our travel destination special. For the next hour, we're going to show you some of the best golf courses that you will want to go and visit when you're on your next vacation. Resort golf courses, public play golf courses, even a couple of private golf courses that you might think about joining. This is one of the most beautiful golf courses in Canada right here where I am. It's Taboo Resort in Gravenhurst, Ontario, just 90 minutes north of Toronto. And if you want to come up and get away, well, this is a typical spot where you can do that. Great accommodation, great resorts, great waterfront. There's all those kind of places we're going to show you today on SCOREGolf TV. And what better place to start than Canada's #1 golf getaway destination, Prince Edward Island. It may be Canada's smallest province, but it's always been considered one of its biggest when it comes to golf. Let's take a look at the best courses Prince Edward Island has to offer. Affectionately known as the Gentle Island, our nation's smallest province is actually pretty big when it comes to Canadian culture and heritage. Whether it's the famous PEI potato, its location as the birthplace of Confederation, or the popular red-headed girl known worldwide, Prince Edward Island owns a long history and a large presence in Canada. You'll find a number of fantastic sites and activities here, and that includes golf. We start our journey across the island on the North Shore in the town of Cavendish, home to a pair of splendid courses. The first half of the duo is the Green Gables Golf Club, aptly named for its proximity to the magical Anne of Green Gables house. Built by legendary Canadian architect Stanley Thompson and restored by Thomas McBroom, the layout provides everything a great seaside course should offer and more. There are holes carved around sprawling sand dunes and around the ocean waves, and featuring Thompson's trademark bunker designs. Weighing in around 7,000 yards, Green Gables' length and intricacies treat all golfers to a fun and relaxing round set against a stunning backdrop in one of Canada's national parks. Just a short drive away is another Cavendish course, Eagles Glen. It's a championship track designed by renowned architect Graham Cook, with 300 acres of beautiful countryside transformed into an 18-hole delight. The first thing most players will notice is the roller coaster moguls and mounding common throughout the course. Naturally, this challenges golfers with a number of uphill and downhill lies and forces every player to be sharp with approach shots. It's this links-oriented style that makes Eagles Glen stand out from its sister courses nearby. Down the road is another Graham Cook design on PEI's North Shore, Anderson's Creek Golf Club. It's a woodland course that meanders through a densely forested area, guiding you on a beautiful adventure as tall pine trees look on. The elevation that starts on the par 4 third signals what's to come. The steep inclines and drops on this hilly terrain make club selection a priority and certainly test anyone's golf game. Finding plateaus in the fairways is likely to help keep your score from ballooning. The distinct feature of Anderson's Creek is, well, the creek itself. It runs right through the heart of the course and has to be crossed 4 times throughout the round. Perhaps the best of the North Shore bunch, Glasgow Hills opened over a decade ago to rave reviews and still earns them to this day. It was designed by famed architect Les Ferber, who brought his ample experience of building courses in the mountainous regions of BC to Atlantic Canada. Stretching across the land overlooking the PEI countryside, Glasgow Hills is a delight to play, yet difficult to master. For over 45 years, Brudenell River has lured golfers east of Charlottetown for an exquisite golfing experience. Both members and guests alike have treasured this 6,500-yard gem, which features broad fairways and manicured greens, accented by numerous gardens, lakes, and ponds. With an unusual but fun mix of 6 par 3s, 6 par 4s, and 6 par 5s, the unique layout never gets boring. If Brudenell is the resort's beauty, then Dunderave is the beast. The second half of the duo is a more recent construction built in 1999. Thunder Rave's red sandstone bunkers are certainly eye-catching, and combined with its championship length, the Top 100 course presents an intriguing blend of traditional and modern course design. At nearly 7,300 yards, Thunder Rave can be a brute to tackle, although there are friendlier tee decks to satisfy everyone's desires. The Michael Herdzen and Dana Fry design showcases the stunning PEI beauty, and it has signature holes and views all over the golf course. But one that always stands out in the conversation is the par 4 8th. Strategy comes into play whether the decision is to go big or play it safe, but either way, a tight, narrow green is ready to challenge. Of all the golf courses scattered across Prince Edward Island, there's one in particular that locals agree stands above the rest, the links at Crowbush Cove. Truly a blend of nature and imagination, Crowbush has become the marquee attraction for golf on the island, drawing golfers from all over the world for more than 20 years. The signature holes on this Thomas McBroom design all feature picturesque vistas, starting with number 7. It's a short par 4 that's reachable with a good drive, but be wary of the large front bunker which eats up anything short of the green. The 16th hole presents an intimidating tee shot in front of a treacherous water hazard, but it's the devious green that players need to worry about once they've finished gazing down at the beach. The links at Crowbush Cove, one of PEI's and Canada's finest jewels. When we return, we'll take you to New Brunswick and Nova Scotia to a couple of great golf courses. Well, recently the SCOREGolf team had a chance to go out across the Bay of Fundy, and on one side, Digby, boy, we had scallops that were the size of hockey pucks. On the other side, St. Andrews by the Sea, New Brunswick, lobsters as big as platters. Oh yeah, there's also some really great golf there too. Let's have a look. St. Andrews, Scotland may have the old course, but St. Andrews by the Sea in New Brunswick has the historic Algonquin, and Atlantic Canada's saintly spot boasts some fabulous golf and charm of its own. Parked right along the coastline, the Algonquin Golf Course is one of Canada's most breathtaking and inspiring tracks. The seaside layout is phenomenal, with 13 of 18 holes offering views of the water. The back 9, perched over the bay, will take your focus off your game and onto the scenery, and you'll likely play better golf because of it. In addition to the Algonquin's awesome location, the course offers an excellent combination of fun and challenge too. There's plenty of room for drives off most tees, but it's your irons that need to be sharp to score well.
It provides a variety of challenges. We're very fortunate to have 5 sets of tee blocks ranging from 5,000 to 7,000 yards, and it allows you to play just about every club in your bag. It's got some nice holes that go through the wooded area in town, and then it also has the perfect seaside holes that blow you away when you're out there.
While golf has been played in this region since the late 1880s, the Algonquin has dramatically changed since then. The original 18 was redone in the 1920s by Donald Ross, and in 2000, Thomas McBroom updated that layout, turning it into a modern course with old-style appeal. McBroom's redesign revived the Algonquin's luster, propelling it into SCOREGolf's Top 100 Canadian course ranking 3 times since 2004. The layout has some exceptional holes flowing through the front side. Starting at the first, it's a sweeping downhill dogleg left with a tight green guarded by a pond. From there, the course moves through several tree-lined holes such as the par 3 third. Some wide-open rolling holes follow at the 5th, 6th, and 7th, but be prepared for your jaw to drop after you make the turn. The 11th provides the first glimpse of what's to come as the ocean sits off in the distance behind the green. But it's on number 12 and 13 where the views truly sing. At the 12th awaits one of the most scenic holes in Canada, a downhill par 3 that sits at the water's edge. The wind plays a major factor in club selection. Fire one long here, and you'll be donating your ball to the Bay of Fundy.
It's a fun hole to play, and it's scary when you're standing back in that tee and you're looking at the ocean behind you and you don't want to hit too much club.
The rest of the course offers up more great views as it climbs back to the 18th towards the clubhouse. Overall, you'll revel in the luxurious setting of the Algonquin at St. Andrews. It's not Scotland, but it's in our backyard, an icon in Atlantic Canada for generations. For more than 80 years, travelers have been coming to Digby, Nova Scotia to visit the majestic Pines Resort. Now known as the Digby Pines Golf Resort and Spa, this castle on the coast is the perfect spot to relax, recharge, and play one of Canada's great resort courses. The Pines Golf Course opened in 1931 and was designed by the legendary Stanley Thompson. The layouts remain virtually unchanged since that time and exists as one of the purest Thompson courses in Canada.
This golf course is a typical Stanley Thompson course. He did it with the lay of the land is what you got. You got rolling hills, big bunkers. You hardly ever get a flat lie. It's nice and uneven lies all the time.
Right from the first tee, the evidence of that Thompson touch is clear. From the humpy-bumpy fairways that mean you rarely get a flat lie, to the signature bunker work that dots every hole. Elevation drops and rises are plentiful here, including the second hole, a gorgeous par 3 that sets the tone.
Number 2 is a tricky hole. You've got a big bank off to the right, and below on the left-hand side of the green is a big gully, so it's a tough green to hit. Typically people will aim at the right side of the bank, and it'll most of the time hit the bank and roll down onto the green.
Once you hit the 5th and 8th holes, you'll start to notice a trend. Par 3s at Digby are a blast to play. At a variety of lengths and peppered with bunkers, the 5th and 8th are super fun for firing at the flag. The course is not long on the card at just 6,300 yards, but will play longer and tougher than it appears thanks to those elevation changes and that ever-present wind that, because of the ingenious routing, never seems to blow in the same direction. Rounds at Digby Pines are usually won or lost on a 4-hole stretch on the back 9 starting at the 12th. In fact, this stretch is so tough, the course has offered up a challenge for any player who could par all 4 holes, earning a spot in a draw for a weekend at the resort. The course finishes up with a great par 5 that is bordered by some massive Thompson bunker complexes. If you can avoid those, the hole is reachable in 2, and sets up the possibility for a dramatic finish. There is plenty of history at Digby Pines Golf Resort and Spa, but it's truly a modern facility and amazing golf. It's a Canadian must-play. After the break, SCOREGolf will showcase the many beautiful courses on Cape Breton Island. Well, when the SCOREGolf Top 100 course ranking came out earlier this year, there was a surprise at number 2, a first-time entrance all the way up to number 2. It was Cabot Links. Now, Cabot Links out on Cape Breton Island, they're actually adding a second course called Cabot Cliffs, and along with Highlands Links, there's a very good chance that when we do the SCOREGolf Top 100 next time, 3 of the top 10 golf courses in Canada will be on Cape Breton Island. All the more reason to go and check out all the courses out on that beautiful part of Nova Scotia. Already one of Canada's top golf getaways, Cape Breton Island is about to get a whole lot better. 2 years ago, golfers flocked to the town of Inverness, Nova Scotia, snatching up tee times at the brand new Cabot Links, located on the west side of the island. The Rod Whitman design garnered tons of accolades with its vintage version of the game, reminiscent of courses often found only in Ireland and Scotland. It's a superb spot that boasts equal parts challenge and fun. But Cabot is about to have some company. A fresh 18-hole track named Cabot Cliffs is set to open in July of 2015 and may just put the destination over the top. Those who've seen glimpses of the Cliffs course believe it may be even better than its Links brother, thanks to its superior landscape.
Well, I think the site's just so much more spectacular. As much as, you know, I mean, it's, somebody said it's a bit like choosing your favorite children, which I can identify a little bit with now, but this site is so much more dramatic, obviously, with the cliff holes up here at the north end and playing across ravines, and then you get into the sand dunes at the south end. And so I think, you know, it's just a little bit more dramatic with lots of the same things like the island in the background and, you know, lots of similarities, but just with more drama.
Though the Cliffs course could be the marquee attraction once it opens next year, you'd be foolish to overlook the 2-year-old Links course a kilometer south. A fantastic track in its own right, Cabot Lake's rugged oceanfront terrain is a golfer's delight. It guides players up and down the wide-open links layout, encouraging the creativity needed to combat some wild and windy conditions. The fescue grass, wide fairways, and deep bunkers showcase the old-style roots of the game. After landing on several best courses list, Cabot Links collected another honor this summer after soaring to the second spot in SCOREGolf's Top 100 Canadian course ranking. Though it only opened in 2012, Cabot scored the highest debut for any course in the ranking's history. Stretching out a mile across the coast of the Northumberland Strait, it's hard to find flaws in this design. When coupled with Cabot Cliffs next year, it'll be hard to find faults anywhere in Inverness. Along the gorgeous Cabot Trail, astonishing views await no matter where you go, and world-class golf courses aren't too far behind either. One of those is Cape Breton Highlands Links, a classic Stanley Thompson design widely considered to be one of his greatest pieces of work.
I'd like to say it's a very unique golf experience. It's probably the best way to say it. It's not anything you're going to find anywhere else.
The course has long been in the top 10 of our top 100 golf courses in Canada, including a #1 appearance back in 2000. This year, it claimed the 7th spot on our ranking, but with recent renovations, the course is better than ever. As one of the older courses on Cape Breton Island, Highlands Links has done quite the job keeping up with the modern designs joining its neighborhood while remaining among the elite layouts in Canada.
It's definitely a status thing, there's no question. We strive for that. I mean, the design and layout of this course is second to none, and I think we'll be in that top 100 for quite a while to come yet.
The course also stands out as a top-tier course in the world and is one that shouldn't be missed on any golfer's bucket list. For golfers, it's easy to think your Cape Breton trip will be about golf and only golf. But the Nova Scotia island has so much more to offer, from great food to incredible scenery and amazing music. It's one reason why it's become a destination for those wanting to celebrate events of all kinds. And Cape Breton has already proven to be a willing and accommodating host. It's welcomed events big and small from around the world and down the street. Some of those events, of course, are golf-based. The second annual Cape Breton Celtic Classic, a stop on PGA Tour Canada, is set for this September at the Lakes Golf Club at Benyon. In its inaugural run a year ago, it proved to be one of the most popular tournaments on the northerly circuit. Professional golfers aren't the only ones teeing it up in Cape Breton in tournament action. This summer, Le Portage Golf Club played host to the Nova Scotia Senior 4-Ball Championship, as some of the best senior linksters in the province take on one of the most fun and scenic courses on the island. But you don't have to have a low handicap to come out and play around in Cape Breton. Some of the best events may take place on the golf course, but they may not necessarily have to do with the scores. Every summer, noted singer, songwriter, and Cape Bretoner Gordie Sampson returns home from Nashville to host the Cayley Cup, a fun-filled, music-themed charity golf tournament. With proceeds heading to the Gordie Sampson Song Camp, the tens of thousands of dollars raised annually allows Sampson to run a camp that pairs young Canadian musicians together to compose lyrics and share in the rewarding feeling of transcribing a tune. So whether it's a foursome or 400, Cape Breton is ready to welcome you. The world is coming here and you can come too. Just remember to bring your clubs, your appetite, and your singing voice. After the break, we'll go to the honeymoon capital of the world and a place where great golf can be played, Niagara Falls. Later, we'll rank the NHL's best golfers. Well, Niagara Falls is best known as the honeymoon capital of the world, but it's really trying to make its mark as the golf capital of Canada, and it's doing a pretty good job. Let's take a look at Niagara Falls, Ontario. The first of the 7 facilities that will feature in the Niagara region is the Legends on the Niagara, and it's truly a battle between designers here. The property has 2 18-hole courses designed by 2 of Canada's top modern-day course architects.
Douglas Carrick designed our Battlefield course behind me, and our other course is Ushers Creek, and it was co-designed by Thomas McBroom.
Battlefield provides a unique and challenging treat with wide, generous fairways and undulating greens. The course offers a mix of link-style holes with long fescue, as well as parkland style, featuring trees lining many greens and fairways. Ushers Creek provides a contrasting parkland style to its counterpart. It's an elegant design that flows with the land and uses landmarks and strategic bunkers as good targets to aim at. This Niagara Parks course offers a tranquil abode. If you're a fan of McBroom and Carrick's designs, then Legends on the Niagara is a must. You'll even forget that these contrasting courses are on the same property when you play them back to back. To make your getaway in Niagara a grand time, don't forget about Grand Niagara Golf Club, designed by Rhys Jones.
I think Rhys Jones built a golf course that you sort of get lost by yourself. There's people out here, you won't hear them, you won't see them, and to a golfer, that means something.
The traditional parkland-style course offers up rolling fairways that provide ample landing areas, yet large fairway bunkers still provide a pretty good defense. Grand Niagara is just shy of 7,500 yards from the tips, so your driving game will need to be sharp to make it around this track. You can still choose between 3 other sets of tees that are somewhat friendlier. Wherever you play from, the pristine playing conditions and immaculate greens will add to the enjoyment of playing Grand Niagara.
Number 2 is probably our signature par 4 from the back tees. We played just about 460 yards. Big collection pond on the right-hand side, undulating green. Par's a very good score there.
The scenery is spectacular and the experience superb. You won't want to miss this great track. Public golf in a private setting. That's the mantra at Royal Niagara. The Ted Baker design offers 27 holes of challenging golf. The 3 nines are the Escarpment, the Old Canal, and the Iron Bridge. As the name of the course would suggest, the Escarpment course takes advantage of the glorious landscape and provides elevation changes and tight fairways. The 7th hole is a par 3 where you'll face a small pond in front of the green. Hitting the center of the green is your best shot at a birdie. Anywhere else and you'll find it very difficult to get up and down. Next, the Old Canal 9 is dominated by water. It's nestled next to the historic Welland Canal and provides liquid hazards on all but 2 holes. The 3rd hole is a par 4 that plays just over 400 yards from the back blocks. Accuracy is crucial, as anything off the fairway will likely disappear into the water hazards surrounding the hole. And last but definitely not least is the Iron Bridge course, which is named after the bridge found on the par 4 3rd hole. If you can keep your tee shot in play, you'll have a good shot at birdie, as there isn't much danger around the green. Just 1,500 yards from the falls is Thundering Waters Golf Club, and despite being able to see the skyline of the Strip from many holes, the course is a sanctuary from the hustle and bustle of the famous tourist area. It was designed by long-hitting John Daly, and his touch is everywhere here. To the carts that have the flashy designs on them, to the course itself, you'll see and sense Long John at every turn. While Daly may be known for his mammoth drives, he designed Thundering Waters to be playable for those who don't hit it 300 yards off the tee.
It's relatively short. It's only 6,500 yards from the Daly tee deck, but I say Thundering Waters is the ultimate risk-reward course.
The course has 2 distinct parts, an open Scottish-style section and a tree-lined parkland side. The holes flow nicely through both and will challenge golfers while still giving them lots of opportunity to enjoy themselves. Thundering Waters is not only a fun course to play, but an enjoyable place to be. As with Daly himself, a casual atmosphere pervades the facility. Beechwood Golf and Country Club is the perfect course for families and golfers looking for a light and fun round. It's a great place to come for beginners or even seasoned players looking to tune up their game. With prime-time green fees that are under $40 and include a cart, value doesn't get much better than this.
Very traditional rolling golf course. We have water on 13 of the 18 holes, but the water is not always directly in front of the holes. It's off to the side or down the side of the fairway, so it makes for a very interesting golf course. It's 18 good golf holes.
The 9th hole is their signature hole with the clubhouse in the backdrop and a small green as your target. But don't hit too long, otherwise you'll lose your ball on the clubhouse patio. Golf is a social game and meant to be enjoyed among friends, and that's what Beechwood is all about. Family values are rooted within the course's history. Golfers of all ages and skill are welcomed with open arms. When you play here, you're considered part of the Beechwood family. A few stick lengths away from the falls on the American side of the border is Seneca Hickory Stick. Opened in 2010, this Robert Trent Jones Jr. design provides a pristine golf course from tee to green.
One of the things Robert Trent Jones Jr. has done here is create a lot of optical illusions for the golfer, where it may look very narrow. On the other side of the curves and the mounds of the golf course is open fairway. It's a link-style design with 14 holes with hazards on them, 67 bunkers out there, but fairways as wide out there.
To finish the front 9, golfers are faced with a long par 5, which calls for accuracy on every shot. With a water hazard to the right and traps on the left of the fairway, you'll need some straight shots while approaching the signature double green. And to finish off the round, you're up against a short par 3, one that sees you return to the double green that you saw on number 9. It's a scenic view, and if you can get it up and over, there's a good chance you can finish your round with an easy par. The course has been rated one of the best new golf courses in the United States and is a visual treat that you'll want to try out when in the Niagara region. Whirlpool Golf Course is one of Canada's best known and highly rated public courses. An enduring classic, it's undergone many alterations over the years since its opening in 1951, but it's still very much a design of its master golf course architect, one of Canada's best.
World-famous Canadian architect Stanley Thompson. This was his last design. Typical to a Stanley Thompson course, it's a parkland-style course. Very much so, what you see is what you get.
From one great designer to another, Doug Carrick has also had a hand in what Whirlpool is today. For instance, he redesigned the second hole at Whirlpool in the late 90s, and that hole stands as one of its best. The 16th hole provides a great view of the outlying skyline and may be the most scenic view on the course. Yet don't let the view fool you. It may also be the most demanding. Whirlpool is a Stanley Thompson course that needs to be played. The master's touch is clear from the first tee to the final putt, and the ability to experience this classic is something that shouldn't be missed. When we return, we'll look at the top 5 NHLers who've competed in our Molson 67 tee-off season. Over the past 2 seasons, we've run a very popular feature here on SCOREGolf TV called the Tee-Off Season, where we get NHL hockey players to trade their hockey sticks for golf clubs. Some of them are pretty talented. In fact, here is our top 5 list of the most talented NHL players who've appeared on our program. The Tee-Off Season is brought to you by Molson Canadian 67. Over the past couple of years, the Molson Canadian 67 tee-off season has showcased some of the best former and current NHLers hitting golf balls on fairways across Canada. From Bruce Boudreau.
Oh, it's pulled into the trap.
To Paul Bissonnette.
Oh, I like it. Oh, I got it! You gotta be kidding me!
We've seen some high moments.
Now there's a good-looking shot.
Jeez, what is with you, man?
Get down. Oh, great shot.
Unbelievable. Get out of here.
And some low.
That's expected, Ray. Tough lie there, bud.
That is.
But with just a few more match plays left in this season, SCOREGolf thought we'd rank our top 5 NHL golfers. Before we hit the links, we should give a special shout out to Wendell Clark, who lost both of his matches, but to 2 fantastic golfers. The reality is that both of his opponents played spectacular golf, as did Wendell, but he fell short on a couple of holes. Without a doubt, Clark is a fantastic golfer, but is he ranked in our top 5? Let's take a look. Coming in at number 5, a player who lost at the Summit Golf and Country Club to former Summit Club champion Mike Camilleri is Daniel Winnick. The newly signed Toronto Maple Leaf matched Camilleri shot for shot until he lost in a playoff hole. Our 4th-ranked golfer is Michael Pekka. The former Buffalo Sabres captain and Canadian Olympic gold medalist is a scratch golfer. This year he crushed Andrew Peters out at Legends of the Niagara. Although Peters wasn't much competition, one thing is clear, Pekka is an excellent golfer and could challenge for top spot in the years to come. Number 3 is Mike Camilleri. Long known around the league as one of the best golfers, Camilleri beat 5th-ranked Winnick. This despite having his back against the wall, but responding to a deadly up and down from a trap on the final hole to take it in a playoff. Number 2 is former NHL sniper Jeff O'Neill. You've seen him hosting our match plays, but last year he knocked off Wendell Clark with a few beautiful birdies. Not only was this guy one of the great snipers in Hurricanes history, but he nearly won the Weston Golf and Country Club Club Championship last year, losing to 2-time Canadian amateur champion Warren Sy in the final. And the top NHL golfer goes to general manager of the Florida Panthers, Dale Talon. A 1969 Canadian junior golf champion, qualified for the Canadian PGA Tour shortly after being selected 2nd overall by the Vancouver Canucks in 1970. Put it this way, Talon is such a great golfer, we couldn't get a single NHLer to agree to come out and face him. He's just that good. There you have it, folks, our top 5 NHL golfers. Stay tuned the rest of the way as we bring you a couple of more huge matches in September. If you've ever thought about joining a private golf club, well, now is perhaps the best time in the history of golf in Canada. There are some spectacular golf courses out there looking for members, and they're willing to deal. Let's have a look at some fantastic private golf in this country. What makes a great golf course? A world-class designer, location, and layout all help. And it just so happens that Scarborough Golf and Country Club has all that and more. Just a 20-minute drive from the heart of Canada's largest city, this private golf course is ranked 69th best in Canada in our 2014 Top 100.
Well, it's a great old traditional golf course. It's been around for 100 plus years. It's an exciting time to be around the club. We're really focusing on being a premier club and offering premier experiences, but we've got a big focus on family as well.
Dating back over a century to 1912, it's one of the oldest golf clubs in Canada. The original course was designed by Canadian Golf Hall of Famer George Cumming, but the course you see today was built by A.W. Tillinghast, one of North America's premier golf designers. Scarborough is Tillinghast's only layout in Canada.
Yeah, the golf course, it's a real old traditional style, so there is a lot of elevation changes throughout the holes. You'll see a lot of Tillinghast courses where he does have his signature out on the course with the shape of the greens, with the layout of the fairways, and with his target bunkers.
Scarborough's most distinguished trait is its short par fours. It has several holes that play less than 350 yards, but what they lack in yardage, they make up for in subtle dangers, making club selection and accuracy crucial. The course plays as a true classic.
It's that kind of course that you can come back, whether you play the blues, the blacks, the silvers, you can always be challenged, whether you want to play a 4-iron, maybe get aggressive, hit a driver. We always joke that the par 4 7th is the toughest par 5 in Ontario because it plays so tough depending how you attack it. I just think that the prestige and the history of the course adds a lot to it. Obviously having a Tillinghast course in Canada that we get to play every day is pretty special.
If you're a serious golfer or just enjoy the game casually, getting out at Scarborough is a must. Designed by one of the most noted architects in the golf world, you won't want to miss playing A.W. Tillinghast's only golf course in Canada. Tucked away in the city of Kitchener, Ontario, is one of Canada's hidden gems. Dating back to the 1930s, Westmount Golf and Country Club is a classic parkland-style course that was designed by Stanley Thompson, one of Canada's top golf course architects. The pristine private club has been a perennial top 20 course in the SCOREGolf Top 100 ranking, yet it's often overlooked when Thompson's other noted works, St. George's, Highlands Links, Capilano, Fairmont Banff Springs, and Fairmont Jasper Park, are cited. That might be due to its location, far from big cities or golf travel destinations. Regardless, Westmount is a fantastic course that every serious golfer should try to play.
It's just an unbelievable golf course. You hit it in the same spot, you think day in, day out, and you never have the same lie twice. It's very tree-lined, but it's not high brush or not a lot of fescue or things like that.
There's a reason that Westmount ranked 12th in our 2014 Top 100 ranking, and some claim that it deserves to be higher. With the Thompson name comes a deep-rooted history, and quite simply, a gorgeous golf course. Westmount's beautiful fairways, towering trees, and amazing layout showcase a stunning setting. But it's the greens that may be its best possession. Always rolling fast and true, the green complexes are simple in nature, but often quite large, relying on plenty of undulation and multiple surrounding bunkers as its primary defense, a characteristic of many of Thompson's designs.
It's the big trees, it's the rolling terrain, built in 1931 when they didn't have bulldozers to shape everything. The tough greens, they are certainly tricky, and you get above the pin and you're pretty defensive. There's a lot of things to like about it.
Westmount might rank just behind Stanley Thompson's Big Five, and it might be overshadowed by some of Canada's big city clubs, but members know that this course is definitely among one of Canada's best works of art. There are few golf clubs across Canada that can boast 100 years of existence, but one of the few is Barrie Country Club. Originally a 9-hole course, the club reopened at its current location after a design by Bob Moot, who learned his craft under the direction of Canada's greatest golf course architect, Stanley Thompson. Then in the mid-1990s, award-winning designer Graham Cook was brought in to retool the course.
Most of Graham Cook's work's been modifications, really. We've added different tee decks, so we've been able to vary the length of it. Some shorter tees, some intermediate length tees, as well as a few longer tees. About 10 years ago, we made some changes on number 12 and put a pond in just to the right of the green that helped drain the area as well as challenge the approach shot.
Barrie is a well-designed course that weaves and winds its 18 holes through a valley among a handful of water hazards while playing between 5,400 and 6,900 yards long. Nestled among towering pines, it's one of the most scenic courses in the region with a perfect mixture of par 3s, 4s, and 5s.
The par 3s are a very strong test, so you need some good mid or long iron shots or perhaps hybrids. There's good length on the par 3s. The par 5s, you got an opportunity to make some birdies, so a good wedge player will have the opportunity to score well and make up for some errors that they might have otherwise.
The rest of the front nine is made up of incredible views, and none better than the first hole. As golfers get ready to tee off, they're surrounded by a beautiful garden and are only steps away from the driving range, putting, and practice greens. Once the ball is in the air, golfers find themselves perched above a fairway with a bird's eye view of the green just off in the distance. With a freshly minted clubhouse, a young and vibrant membership, and a course layout that is meticulously managed under the watchful eye of Graham Cook, Barrie Country Club is clearly one of Ontario's great membership courses. Over the last 100 years, it's gone through much change, from relocating the entire course to renovations to its layout. But from what we see here now, the next 100 years are full of potential that could see Barrie become one of the province's greatest courses. Celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, Deer Creek Golf and Banquet Facility has thrived with its immaculate 45 holes of golf and its state-of-the-art banquet facilities. Located east of Toronto and Ajax, Ontario, Deer Creek offers two different courses to play. The North Course, which is made up of 3 9-hole layouts, and the South Course, which is an 18-hole layout, for a total of 45 holes, making it one of the biggest golf facilities in Canada.
The South Course and 2 of the 9s on the North Course were co-designed with Jerry Coughlin and Rennie Mullart. The Pearl Course, which is the latest addition on the North Course, was strictly Jerry Coughlin's design. It is considered our toughest 9 of all. It's a little longer.
The first 9-hole layout that makes up the North Course is the Black Pearl. It's a par 36 and plays just under 3,500 yards from the back tees.
Pearl 2, it's one tees up, comes over the driveway from the blue and white tees. It's a fairly generous hole off the tee, gives you lots of room to land it. From there, you can run into a bit of problems. There's an island green. Second shot length can be anywhere from 180 for those that don't carry it off the tee very far to a short wedge for those that hit it a long ways. Precision is the word on that hole. You got to hit the green. There's nowhere really to miss it. So accuracy on the second shot is vital.
The Diamond Course offers long and winding fairways, making accuracy off the tee incredibly important, as bunkers and hazards are prevalent on many holes. Many of the holes are surrounded by tall trees, so staying in play is essential, otherwise you'll find yourself chopping balls out of the woods. The fourth is an interesting layout that wraps up with golfers facing down a large pond that's waiting to swallow up any shots right of the green.
I'd say one of our best holes on Diamond, par 4, 4th hole. It's kind of a double dog leg. It is reachable into by the best of the best golfers. I would not recommend it. It is a strategy hole, trying to keep it in place, lined by a creek down the right-hand side that goes all the way up to a pond that fronts the green. And there's trouble left as well. It's a very difficult hole, and I think it's one of our greatest holes, and I wish it was our 18th.
A short drive away from the clubhouse, but still on the Deer Creek property, is the Salem Ridge Academy. Golfers have access to this huge driving range and practice facility where you can work on all parts of your game from driving to putting. If you still don't have a perfect game after all your practice, the Academy has a team of PGA of Canada professionals that can give you a hand. The Academy also has an executive 9-hole course and only takes about 90 minutes to play and is perfect for beginners. Deer Creek Golf and Banquet Facility is without a doubt one of the great public facilities in the Greater Toronto Area, if not all of Canada. It hosts nearly 70,000 rounds of golf a summer, with 45 different holes to play. Every round at Deer Creek brings a new challenge and new opportunities to grow your game. After the break, Score Golf will take you to Osoyoos, British Columbia for a tour of the Valley's best courses. Well, there actually is some desert in Canada. You may not know that, but there's desert and it's filled with rattlesnakes and also some spectacular wine. Sound a little crazy? Well, it's the South Okanagan. Let's go there right now. At first glance, the South Okanagan Golf Trail looks like the rest of the Okanagan Valley, filled with orchards and vineyards and all kinds of great golf. But this is no regular part of Canada. This is the desert. This area is ripe with award-winning wineries and championship-caliber golf, led by the popular Fairview Mountain Golf Club. When you arrive at Fairview Mountain, it isn't hard to see how the facility got its name. The sprawling course is set in a picturesque pocket at the base of a mountain, bordered by vineyards and orchards that provide non-stop scenery no matter where you are on the golf course. The course opened in 1925 as a 9-hole design that featured sand greens. From those humble beginnings, it grew in membership and popularity, to the point that in 1990, Les Ferber was brought in to do a redo of the course and provide an extraordinary design. But Fairview Mountain is about more than just beauty. It was created to provide a fun overall golf experience from the first tee to the 18th green. It can play over 7,000 yards from the back tees all the way down to a more friendly 5,300. But no matter what deck you decide to play from, the course allows aggressive players to unleash their driver. It also requires precision on the second shot and on the greens.
Fairview Mountain, to me, is a golf course that is driver-friendly. People enjoy coming here because it's wide open spaces, you can hit the driver, but the greens are going to be your challenge.
No matter what you score, a round at Fairview is just plain fun. The atmosphere is casual and relaxed, and everyone is made to feel welcome. So scenery, challenge, fun, and enjoyment, there's not much more you could ask for. The word Osoyoos comes from an old Okanagan Indian term meaning where two lakes come together. And interestingly, the town's 36-hole Osoyoos Golf Club provides a similar sentiment. The two unique 18-hole layouts unite on one remarkable property to form a special golfing experience. That experience starts with vistas of mountains, lake, desert, and valley, and though the views are great, the golf is even better.
Well, I think the special thing about the Osoyoos Golf Club is that both courses are very, very different. Park Meadows are original 18 holes. It's got the tall poplar trees on the front 9, the meadows, the back 9 is fairly open. Then obviously the 18 holes out on the desert. We've got endless sunshine here, being fairly arid as well. But I think just the experience of having both courses completely different. Play one course one day, play one the next, and it's almost like you're not even at the same property.
Weaving up and down the rugged hillside, Osoyoos Desert Gold Course embraces the natural desert landscape on which it sits. Built 10 years ago, Desert Gold is the younger brother of the two 18s, but has plenty of attitude. It's a fierce 6,500-yard design that penalizes players who veer off the fairway. It's design features like these that make the Desert Gold a thoughtful challenge. If you're in the mood for a more traditional outing, go with Osoyoos' picturesque Park Meadows course. This 18 measures only 6,300 yards but can muster plenty of bite, just like its desert brother. Combining superb scenery with a satisfying round of golf, Park Meadows is a relaxing and walkable track. It starts with a comfortable trio of holes to get your blood flowing before grabbing your attention with the par 4 fourth. It's a dogleg left with a mound in the middle of the fairway, again asking you to be aggressive or conservative with your approach. The best hole in the back 9 at Park Meadows is likely number 14. It's a neat par 5 protected by bunkers and a large pond in front of the green. Grab an extra club and soar one over that sparkling fountain.
There is a small lake in front of the green. Off the tee, though, there is sort of a narrowing hitting area, so you are able to lay up in between the bunkers there, or you can be a little bit more aggressive with the driver, which will leave you an opportunity to try and go for that green in 2.
Park Meadows wraps up your round with a charming 18th hole that leads up to its lovely Santa Fe-inspired clubhouse. A stone's throw from the U.S. border and filled with great panoramic views in every direction, Osoyoos Golf Club's 36 holes make for an excellent all-day affair in the South Okanagan. Like most areas of the Great White North, the land we currently live on can be dated back to the days of First Nations tribes. They protected and cultivated the local land, and in parts of the South Okanagan Valley, that's still the case, including the Inkameep Canyon Desert Golf Course. It's owned and operated by the Osoyoos Indian Band, but don't let that fool you, as this is one fabulous place to play golf. It provides an authentic desert feel too, so load up on sunscreen and water and wind your way along the splendid setting.
Well, we are a very natural desert golf course setting, set at the northern tip of the Sonoran Desert. We don't do a lot outside the boundaries of the golf course. We leave it very, very natural. We have some environmentally sensitive areas where we have a lot of natural flora, fauna, cactuses, all different kinds of vegetation.
Designed collaboratively by the owners and Indian band, its relatively flat, wide-open layout makes it suitable for any level of player and a tremendous walk as well. Add in a great practice area to keep your game sharp and a spectacular course sure to treat any golfer, and you can consider Inkameep a bona fide oasis in the desert. When we return, we'll wrap up our destination show, but not before we take a look at one final course. Well, we've taken you from one coast to the other, from north to south and east to west, but we have time for one more look at this beautiful place, Taboo Resort. Located just 90 minutes north of Toronto in Gravenhurst, Ontario, is Taboo. The stunning Muskoka layout has been a perennial top 100 course in SCOREGolf's biennial rankings, and it's easy to see why. Designed by famed architect Ron Garl in 2002, Taboo has quickly become renowned for its 18 beautiful holes, which are shaped out of pink granite outcroppings from the Canadian Shield.
A lot of the golf courses in Muskoka are big, grand golf courses with lots of outcroppings, lots of bunkering. What I like about Taboo Muskoka is there's still that wow factor, but it's playable. Some golf courses in Muskoka, you can hit a drive right down the middle of the fairway or just off the fairway. You're gonna hit a rock and bounce in the bush. Taboo's not that way. You hit a good shot, you're gonna get rewarded for good shots. You're not gonna hit a rock, bounce out of bounds or in the trees.
With numerous rolling fairways, perfectly placed elevated tee boxes, massive waist bunkers, and challenging undulating greens, it's no wonder Taboo is considered one of the top public courses in all of Ontario. Taboo is the kind of course where you'll find yourself mesmerized by the sheer beauty. At times, you may be looking to pull out your camera for photos instead of your driver for tee shots. Without a doubt, if you are a lover of golf and course design, then Taboo is a must on your bucket list. Week Speaks brought to you by Bushnell, the undisputed #1 laser rangefinder in professional golf. Back in 2013, the last year that we have stats for, Canadians took 1 million trips with their golf clubs. That's a pretty amazing number. And they also spent $2.5 billion on those trips. Huge business, golf and travel. I think there's nothing better than carrying your clubs with you when you go to some of these great spots, romantic spots, scenic spots, relaxing spots, whatever you choose to go and visit. There's probably a golf course where you can unwind as well when you're on that trip. So the next time you're out with your golf clubs and you're planning your vacation, think about it. We want to get that 1 million trips up to 2 million. Golf and travel, there's not a better way to spend your downtime. That's it for our program here. I hope you have seen some spots that you might want to go and visit. Check them out on ScoreGolf.com, and we'll see you next time right here on ScoreGolf TV. Clothing provided by Ashworth. All we do is golf.